Tom Izzo and Mike Krzyzewski face off in the Sweet 16 again. Duke and Michigan State, two of the elite programs in college basketball. No two programs have gone to the Sweet 16 more times in the last 16 years than Duke and Michigan State. It should be an epic battle scheduled for 9:45 p.m. on Friday at Lucas Oil Stadium, the football stadium in Indianapolis. Dillon, when you look at this matchup, what are some of the things that first stand out to you, particularly after listening to Tom Izzo today at his weekly press conference?
You know, I think a lot of people are thinking of Sweet 16 and they're thinking, seeing Florida and Florida Gulf Coast. You see this 2 versus 15, this great game. But I think this is the game to watch. You have, like you said, Izzo and Krzyzewski going at it. Izzo's always long admired Coach K and what he's been able to do there at Duke, and he's built a program for almost close to 40 years at Duke that's as successful as any in college basketball. You got it. Adrian Payne and Gary Harris and Keith Appling going up against the Seth Curry, Mason Plumlees, and I think it's going to be a very interesting matchup. It's going to be probably one of the more higher-rated games of the weekend, and I think the winner, going to have a crack at probably Louisville for a chance to go to the Final Four.
We have been pretty consistent. They've been incredibly consistent, and in the meantime, they've won a couple national championships in that time period. And so, the chase is still on, and whether it be in recruiting and whether it be in games. But I think the good part about it is there's a respect factor there in the way they do it and the way we've done it. And so I don't think one beating the other. It's not like an interstate football game that it's going to sway 10 recruits one way or the other. But I do think that when you play in these games, it helps everybody, the university, the program, and recruiting.
Just history. They have a great history, and a lot of Hall of Famers been through Duke. A lot of great basketball figures that are well known have gone to Duke, and you just know Coach K always has a pretty good team.
The attention level definitely goes up. I'm pretty sure at this point every team that's still in the tournament is still trying to compete for a Final Four. So each and every possession means more than it meant earlier in the year.
Yeah, it seems like there are upsets all throughout the bracket almost every year, and then these two programs sort of stay constant. They're here again. When you look at the matchup, how do you see the inside matchup here with Mason Plumlee, Ryan Kelly, Derek Nix, Adrian Payne? It seems like those are probably the two best players or two most critical players for both squads, potentially down low. Adrian Payne certainly come on of late. Ryan Kelly, Duke does not lose when he plays. They're 20-1 with him. How do you see that going for Michigan State?
I think it's like what you've been talking about this week, that I think that Derek Nix and Adrian Payne are going to have the advantage down low. You look at Derek Nix, and he's averaging a smidge over 18 points a game here, the 2 games that's in the NCAA tournament, and I think he's got a motor that's running very high right now. Like, he knows what's at stake personally and professionally with him to have a nice NCAA tournament run, to finish on top and potentially get a look by NBA scouts. He's certainly on the right track right there. And you have Adrian Payne, who's as dominant a big man as anybody in the Big Ten, and he's really showed up on the big stage. He showed up in the second half against, who am I thinking of here?
Oh, in the second half against Memphis.
Yeah, he showed up against Memphis, and he was solid. So I think that when you put those two guys against Duke, I don't think Duke matches up favorably down there. I think that'll be an area where Michigan State will be very strong against Duke. You look at the outside shooters, the guards, I think that'll be a little bit of a closer matchup. Seth Curry is going to be, he's going to be solid. So it's going to be interesting to see how Keith Appling, Gary Harris, Travis Trice, Denzel Valentine are able to match up with a very frontline guard. Obviously one of the better ones in the NCAA.
Yeah, and a big thing also for Duke, they have 5 players that shoot better than 40% from beyond the arc. A lot of 3-point shooters, which means a lot of communication defensively. Tom Izzo said today, what he said all year, they like to switch defensively. They like to mix and match, and in order to do that successfully, you've got to be able to communicate defensively to make sure that 3-point shooters aren't left open. So that will be really critical for Michigan State in NCAA tournament games. When a team gets hot from 3, that generally will be the difference. So if Michigan State can defend the 3 ball, they should have a good chance. From Breslin Center in East Lansing, this is Josh Mansour and Dillon Davis for the State News, signing off.